Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Here we are once again, reporting headlines from our city, state, and country, listening to your, or rather, reading your comments, ideas, and suggestions on how we can better connect to one another. Oh, my God, excuse me. I still have all kinds of frogs on my throat from last night. Connecting with each other and with our city as a community of English speaking locals, it is such a pleasure to get together with you every day. And today is a special day because we had an amazing meet and greet last night. I still have frogs in my throat. Hang on. Ooh, okay. I think I'm here. Anyhow, today is Saturday, January 21st. We are going to have a good time today because we have a couple of news items to look at. We have a ton of photographs from yesterday's meet and greet to share, and we are going to dive again into our topic survey for this year. And this is a wonderful thing because it gives us a good direction to continue on as we try to connect with you and we try to connect with each other through coffee and headlines. As always, the word new, if you are watching live for the first time, we'll give you a nice welcome. The letter Q at the beginning of your comment if you have something really important to share. Let's get the show on the road. New construction taking place near La Cruz de Guanacaxtla seems to correspond to the construction of the final stretch of the much heralded Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta highway, the one that would create a direct connection between La Cruz and between La Cruz and Puerto Vallarta. Needless to say, this does not mean that the overall project, that is the whole. Well, that wasn't nice. Everything seemed to indicate that it's going to be one of those mornings in which Telmex is doing its thing. I don't know why, because we're going to have a good time regardless. Anyhow, new construction is being done, the highway from Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta. Now they're building the stretch between La Cruz and Guanacaxtla and Puerto Vallarta, which doesn't mean that the highway is going to get done any sooner. It just means that they're getting closer to our part of the city. Then there's this one. I don't care how much you love your outdoors. I still think sleeping on the street is probably not the best of ideas, and the city does not want you doing it either. And a new program by the Commissary of Citizen Security here in Puerto Vallarta has begun addressing the increasing problem of people that are sleeping on the street. Let us hope that they continue to address this problem because, as you know, homelessness in general has become a problem of concern as Puerto Vallarta continues to grow and become an even larger city. Again, I'm really sorry that we had a little break in our broadcast a second ago. I hope it's the last one that we have today. Let us move over to the weather just to see what's going on out there. It's raining, says the snarky weatherman. It is not raining here, which is a good thing. It's 23 degrees. Humidity is at 66%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 74. Our weather forecast for today is clear through the day with a high of 27 and a low of 18. Tomorrow, another clear day with a high of 27 and a low of 18. And again, another clear day on Monday with a high of 27 and a low of 18. So it took less than 30 seconds to share the weather forecast. And this is an important fact, and why it is important will become evident as we continue with the broadcast. I want to talk about yesterday's meet and greet, which was absolutely wonderful. We had, get this, we had over 80 people that showed up at the meet and greet yesterday. And not only was it well attended, there were a lot of friends from out of town that we got a chance to meet for the first time in person. Amy Armstrong performed. We did a little bit of a live broadcast yesterday, and I was really touched when I saw that Gina was watching from afar. As we know, Gina had to go back to the States because of the recent passing of her father. We sent her a lot of love and a lot of good vibes. And of course, my friend Eric once again took it upon himself to volunteer his time and his camera skills. And he's so goddamn good looking that who wouldn't want to pose for a photograph taken by Eric? So I'm going to show you some of the photos that he shared with me from last night in no particular order. There were a bunch of friends present, people that we've known for a while, people that we met for the first time. In this photo at the top left is Chris from the Secret Wine Bar. He was with us in a meet and greet for the first time, and I'm always so happy that business owners choose to connect with our community because it creates for better connections overall. More people enjoying themselves. That's my friend Eric in the middle. He's the one that took our photographs, and that's his husband, Tommy, on the left. They are wonderful friends that I met through coffee and headlines when we first started, and I am now honored to call them part of my family. More friends. There's Paul from Hotel Mercurio and our dear friend Mijal. Oh my God, Sherry Cooper is taking over Puerto Vallarta. She's meeting all the people that she can. I've had a chance to cross paths with Sherry and her husband, David, a couple of times. You guys are an absolute hoot. Look at that. Look at that. More people than I imagined. And once again, of course, the nice folks at Whiskey Kitchen, you know, they did an amazing job taking care of us, even though Gina was gone. The staff was on top of their game. Now, this photo is particularly special to me because that's Amy Armstrong with me. And next to Amy is Logan, whom I call Muffin. And next to Amy is Logan. And next to me is my friend Corey from Boston, who was visiting in town. And Corey would be my Boston equivalent of Muffin. He would be my Boston Muffin, my bestie, a sweet friend. We've known each other for over 30 years, and it is such a pleasure to celebrate our friendship. There were doggies in the house, happy people everywhere, more doggies, more happy people, more people standing at the bar looking like, okay, we're ready for another cocktail. And there's Paul and there's Carmen Porras from Oculto. Once again, it is such a pleasure to see members of our community. There's Bill Bass on the left side with his wife. Bill has been so kind to donate equipment to Coffee and Headlines that now allows us to do better interviews and better sounding videos. At some point in the afternoon, I asked business owners that were in the house to come up front so that people could get to know them better. It is unfortunate that Bill from the Artisan Bakery had to leave early, but it is really important for me that you identify business owners that have partnered with Coffee and Headlines to help us make our our life in Puerto Vallarta more fun. Of course, we're looking at Chris from the Secret Wine Bar on the left. There is Carmen from Oculto, and Paul from Hotel Mercurio seems to be doing a crazy dance. I don't know what to tell you. More friends and more friends. And of course, Amy and Fernando, along with Aaron, who was doing percussion, they did such an amazing job. We were so fortunate, and I am so grateful that Amy would choose to come and play not only for us, but with us. At some point, she told me she was pleasantly surprised at what a great group of people everybody that was there were. And this is me videoing live, and that's like around the time in which I realized that Gina, the owner of Whiskey Kitchen, was watching from afar, and that was a very special moment. We dedicated a song to Gina and to her late father, of course. More people and more people, and again, it was just a wonderful party. And when most people had left, Sahid came in to do a set at Whiskey Kitchen. Most people had already left the building, but this was the first time that I really got a chance to hear this relatively new musician here in town. I had heard great comments about his performances, and he was amazing to listen to because he combined both a lot of music that is palatable to English speakers, but he also threw in a bunch of Mexican folk songs, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I chatted with him briefly, and this is a calendar notice of him playing at Mamacaguamas. I know that he's playing in several places, but I'm going to leave this in the show notes so you can connect with him and enjoy his live guitar and his live singing. I also want to mention that our friends that do the pop-up art show are back at it, and there's going to be another one a week from today at El Patio in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. And now I want to dive into the survey because, you know, we've had enough time to look at the responses. There's a total of 314 responses collected, which is a good number for us to gauge where we're headed in this new year. Of course, the survey is still open. If you want to answer it, I will leave the link in the show notes. But here's an overall wrap of what the survey says. For starters, 50% of you are now watching later on in the day on YouTube. We are not significantly, you don't seem to be significantly concerned about being able to watch live and comment on YouTube, but we will continue to look at alternatives and consider going live on both platforms at the same time. But the bottom line is that Coffee and Headlines will always continue to be a special celebration every morning for those of you that choose to watch the live broadcast. And for the rest of you, I can appreciate that sometimes schedule gets in the way, and that's perfectly fine too. 74% of you are very interested in local news, which is a wonderful thing. This is something that has been very important to us from the very beginning and will continue to be so. Not as many seem to be interested in national and state news, but the trend in the graph is that most of you are interested in it. So we will continue, obviously, to feature important news from our country as they relate to our well-being and to Mexico's culture and so forth. You continue to be first-class foodies. All the responses that you gave to things that had to do with restaurants or eating out were high. There was a lot of engagement in this question. There were some concerns and specific requests for information about vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free offerings, and I will endeavor to obtain that information whenever I can, but whenever I cannot, we are grateful that there are all these Facebook pages where we can actually inquire directly with the restaurant to make sure that they will have whatever it is that we wish to eat or can eat. Your interest on activity related topics aligns with me or aligns with mine, which is great because it helps me continue to enjoy the process of gathering this information. Quick cough, hold on. That was good. 78% of you enjoy walking, which is great. I enjoy walking. 90% of you want to continue exploring local neighborhoods. And since we have better gear now than we did when we walked the neighborhoods before, we're probably going to start a new round of neighborhood walks again. Your interest in courses, classes, and workshops is high at 63%, which makes me personally very happy because I've always been an advocate of adult education and the fact that we can continue exercising our brains and our curiosity and our souls. So I am going to continue trying to find that kind of information for you, needless to say. And God bless, your interest in arduous or sport related activities is low. And I say God bless because I am 60 years old now. I don't have the stamina that I used to have to go climbing hills and stuff like that. So as long as we're aligned, it's a good thing. And then your interest in cultural things or activity related things. Wait, have I moved on? No, there you go. Your interest in cultural related topics aligns with me as well. Um, 86% of you love the contextual features, that is, like talking about Day of the Dead as the date gets near, or talking about specific Mexican holidays and what was the historical context behind them. I love doing that stuff, and I'm going to continue doing it. And this really humbles me. 90% of you are interested in features that relate to Mexican history or culture or tradition, which confirms to me that you are true English speaking locals. You are here and you're curious to know how here works, how here feels, how here works. And you are not just living in some English speaking enclave enjoying the plays because they told you that it was less expensive than elsewhere. Yay. You are ready for live entertainment. For the longest time, I think this is the one that surprised me the most. You are ready to go out and enjoy the nightlife and entertainment offered in the city. 83% of you want more information about upcoming performances. And a fair amount of you are interested in films I've watched or shows I've seen, so we'll continue doing that. For the longest time, I thought that maybe you were not interested in live entertainment because of whatever reason, or maybe the prices, or maybe the shows are not for you. But I'm happy to see that this spike of 83% wanting to go out and check out the shows, that caught me by surprise, but it is a very pleasant surprise. Your interest in event calendars is there. I asked how many of you enjoy the fact that I go looking at the event calendar at Facebook or at Eventbrite just to select a few events that you might be interested in, and you continue to be interested in this. So once again, and we've done this before, it is so important and so helpful. If you are organizing your own event, it is helpful that you actually create an event in these platforms. It is free. If you just post something on your Facebook wall, it will only be seen by people that like your company or business or nonprofit or whatever. It is very unlikely that Facebook will show it to someone just randomly. So if you are organizing events, do yourself a favor and publicize them with the free tools that are available on Facebook, because that is not only helpful to me, it's helpful to a lot of other people. And I have a case in point about this, and I'm going to get slightly snarky. I don't mean to get snarky specifically against the Per Project, but the Per Project seems to be having an event sometime in March. A person sent this JPEG image to me on my incoming mail without any other details. So if the person that sent this to me is a viewer that thought that I would appreciate the information, I want to say thank you. Um, Somehow, I wish you had taken the time to at least say hello, have a nice day, this might be interesting to you, etc., etc. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again. Whenever somebody just drops a JPEG in your world, you are no different than the little man that goes around flyering in our mailboxes down the street or leaves pieces of paper in our windshield wipers. It doesn't provide a lot of information. And if the person that sent this to me is an actual member of the organization, I'm going to have to say, you have to get better at this. You really do. Not for my sake, but if you are not willing or able to compel people that are going to, that may want to go to your event, why should these people be more compelled than you if you're the organizer? So, what I'm trying to say here is let us endeavor to share more information about what's going on out there, because it allows those of us that are in the place of delivering that information, it gives us more things to talk about. Then there were enough remarks here and there about Whiskey Kitchen to make my eyebrows raise. They came in several flavors, and I do want to talk about this. There were a couple of people that said, don't talk about Whiskey Kitchen so much. And I'm going to say, Whiskey Kitchen is a very, very wonderful supporter of this broadcast. Number one, Whiskey Kitchen is around the corner from my house. So if I'm talking about my day-to-day activities and life, needless to say, Whiskey Kitchen is going to come up fairly frequently. It has very little to do with favoritism. It has everything to do with practicality. Then there are those of you that said, oh, we want meet and greets elsewhere. We've met at Whiskey Kitchen, and we want a meet and greet in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. And I have this to say. It takes not every, well, let me start again. Not every restaurant is equipped or prepared to welcome 80 people out of nowhere. Now, Whiskey Kitchen did an interesting job the first time we did it, but now they have it down to a science. If you are a restaurant owner and you are feeling unhappy about the fact that we only meet at Whiskey Kitchen, drop me a line. Drop me a line and let me know that your restaurant is able, willing to provide us with the atmosphere, the space, the food, the sitting arrangement, and the logistics for 80 something people to have a good time. And I would gladly consider your restaurant, provided that it is within the Puerto Vallarta area. And if people that are concerned about consistently meeting at Whiskey Kitchen and would like to have a meeting elsewhere, again, if you know of a restaurant that you think fits the bill, please let me know. Let me know. We meet at Whiskey Kitchen for two very specific reasons. Number one, they know the job and they do it well. And number two, and it's selfish and I don't care, it's around the corner from my house. So help me help you. If you want to see meetings elsewhere, put me in touch with a restaurant that you think that can do such a stellar job as Whiskey Kitchen has been doing in our get-togethers, and we'll be so very happy to consider it. This one, I still don't know what to do about it. We get a lot of correspondence from people that say, well, we're going to be in Puerto Vallarta between such and such dates, so we want to meet and greet. And on the one hand, there's several thoughts that go through my mind. There's the thought of, we are a project for locals. I appreciate that a lot of you are watching from elsewhere, and I love it. But we are, for better or worse, a project for locals, and it's difficult to orchestrate the meet and greets around schedules of people that don't even live here. The flip side of that is that I can certainly appreciate the fact that some of you that are watching from afar all of a sudden are here in town, and it is a pleasure to meet you face to face. So I have no idea what to do with this one, but once again, if anybody has better ideas, I'm always eager to consider them. So, in closing about the survey, I want to say that we have always been and will always be a project that caters to English-speaking locals and a project that endeavors to provide information that is not easily found elsewhere. And information for non-residents can be found elsewhere. There was a very sweet suggestion that I should be going out doing walking tours of Airbnb properties or short-term rentals. First of all, once again, we are a project for locals, so we don't need information about Airbnbs. And there are other places where you can find so much information about this. It's just a matter of looking for them. And that brings us to the end of the survey information. I do think I have something special that I want to share with you, and I think I prepped it right. Only because this afternoon I'm going to be frolicking at El Rio Barbecue with the entire graduation class of Eileen to the Left's High Heel Strutting Academy. And I thought you would want to see what that is about. This is an old video, but it takes 5 minutes and you might be amused. San Sebastián del Oeste.
We're about to embark on an amazing show of the beauty of San Sebastián. The lovely ladies of San Sebastián will be giving a little fashion show today. And our first contestant is Tomesina.
Tomesina!
Oh. She's a mountain woman.
She's a mountain woman.
She is a mountain woman, and she's gone.
And she's Tommy, and Tommy was at the meet and greet last night.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now we bring to the runway the beautiful, the gorgeous, Logania Extraña.
And that would be Logan, of course.
Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. She needs to get a suntan. She needs to get a suntan. She got a little twisty for a second. Did you guys notice that?
Señores y señoras, señoritas y muchachos. Ahora presentamos la belleza del rancho. Sencilla, diferente.
Sencilla Sencilla diferente.
Who was Sencilla Diferente?
Oh my.
Oh, of course.
She brought a fan,
bitch.
That's Eric, who took all the photographs yesterday.
Serving elegance. She's judging you. She's gonna talk shit about you at brunch.
Oh my God.
And now, for your visual pleasure, we present to you Paquita,
Oh dear.
la de Talpa, del barrio Talpa. Paquita, la del barrio Talpa.
And of course, that would be me.
Oh. Ay, Paquita. Ay, la panadera con el pan.
The hips.
See.
Oh, she's off to go shopping. She's off to go find the bread.
The curls are bouncing.
Oh, are we having fun?
Yes.
Oh, what a lovely afternoon for a fashion show. Well, we've saved, I think, the best for last, or perhaps not. You be the judge. Let me present to you now La Obra Negra.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
She's a
Oh,
the table.
that table. I tell you, who puts that table there? Look at her.
She's a goth with a bad habit.
She's troubled.
Oh.
And she's troubled.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
That's our beloved Lucas.
She worked at the truck stop and she got fired.
And she climbs those steps in the most feminine way.
She may be overexposed, but she never tires of presenting in public. Last, we have Miss Eileen to the left, also known as Rosa Melano.
Around these parts.
And that would be Paul and our beloved high heel instructor.
Oh my God.
No.
We have so much to learn.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
She used to be really good friends with Sencia, but they got in a horrible misunderstanding.
And look, that's why she looks so unhappy. Thank
She
you.
doesn't give a fuck.
Wow.
Okay. Enough of that. Okay. Enough. I said enough of that. So that's why am I showing you this? I'm showing this because for the first time this afternoon, the entire graduation class of that event is going to get together at a Rio barbecue today. I'm getting together with my dear friends. No, we will not be wearing anything, but this came up in conversation yesterday, and I thought I would just share a little bit of that. Now, let's take a look at your comments to see what you're up to on this beautiful Saturday. Lots of good mornings. Karen says, it looked like you were having so much fun last night. Yes, we were. It was just absolutely fantastic. Dennis out of COVID jail. This makes me very happy. Yay, yay, yay. Albert. See, Albert is a perfect example of someone who has been watching faithfully and doesn't live here. And how could we not try to schedule a meet and greet around the time someone like Albert is here? But it's difficult. We don't want to get into favorites of any kind. But Albert, it was so great that you were at the meet and greet last night. Sherry, of course, had a great time the last night. Thank you, Paco. Thank you, Sherry, for being there. It was a lot of fun. Malia Lani had a great time as well. Dan says, we plan on being at Nacho Daddy's tonight for the Amy Armstrong show. Kathy will be masked just to be on the safe side, even though she hasn't tested positive. She is just more comfortable doing that, as Nacho Daddy's is an inside environment. It will be great to see you tonight. More comments about last night, which are very much appreciated. More comments about you meeting other people, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's see. Sage, I was so happy to meet Mr. Sage. I was so happy to meet your husband. I'm so glad that you guys were there. And Christoph, so nice that you were there. I am so very happy that not only have you become a friend, but you get how we work. You get the fact that being a part of the community really brings back good experiences to your own business as well. Or at least that's the theory of it. I hope that is the case. Joe says Whiskey Kitchen will be a regular spot for us during the next couple of months. You are going to love that restaurant. It really is wonderful. There's a cute, friendly reminded from you. I appreciate reminding me. Is it at Nacho Daddy's for tonight's weed performance? Yes, it is. Let's see what else. More comments about last night. More a comment about Hecho a Mano. Yes, we love what they do. We love shopping whenever we can. And yes, I want to acknowledge that the Jaguar shirt that I was wearing last night was a beautiful gift from our friend Mateo, who's visiting from Mexico City. Thank you so very much. That was very, very thoughtful. Let's see what else we have. Pudim pum pim pum pum. Pudim pum pim pum pim. Candace comments on Veggie Vallarta as a wonderful Facebook group for anyone interested in restaurants that are plant-based or options available. Thank you for that. I was not aware of the fact that there was such a group. That must be a great resource for those of you that have chosen to eat that way. Ashley, I was just talking about you. What a pleasure to meet you in person. Every time I meet a musician, I get happy, and that gave me happiness. Lots of happiness. Thank you for that, Harold, because yes, I mean, I would be so very happy to move the meet and greet elsewhere, but it really does take a small mountain to make sure that all of you feel at home. But the door is open to any specific recommendations. If anybody wants to step up to the plate and recommend another venue, I would be so very happy to consider it. Let's see what else. A blast from the past, yes. Sage says they were just in San Sebastian during their Saints' Day. It's a beautiful town. Yes, I missed it, but it is a great place. Thank you for the comments on the video from the past. Can we start Snarky Saturday where you teach us one snarky Spanish phrase a month? Oh, honey, I could do it every week. I love to do that. Comments about my legs. Thank you, Sage. I used to be a cyclist, so I suppose there's still a little bit of that. Let's see. Eric, you look divine in high heels, and I love you, and I am so grateful that our dear friend Eric takes the time to document our meet and greets. Thank you for the beautiful photographs, and thank you for your friendship. Claude, who was not present yesterday, was part of that going away with the high heels getaway. It was really, really fun. Let's see. I think we are ready for the end of today's broadcast. Thank you very much for a crazy, wonderful week. And thank you very much for showing up at the meet and greet. It was a very special evening. Thank you for being part of this community and for safeguarding it along with me and making sure that we keep it as nurturing, as positive, as loving as possible. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you back here again on Monday morning. Take care.